Uh, One Piece chapter 798. Oh, folks, this is a Black Wizard. Today is my live reaction towards um, One Piece chapter 798. And I'm a little bit bloated right now. And the reason why I say this is because I had some Mickey D's. And before that, I went to the Wonders and did some deadlifts for a while. Like the first time I did it in like over a year. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get right to it. The name of the chapter is called Heart. And the cover picture shows Boa Hancock writing a lovely letter towards Luffy. That's pretty sweet. Now, it starts off where Vice Admiral Bastille asking about the reinforcement that was supposed to go to the eastern port. He asks, hey, what happened to the reinforcement that was supposed to go to the eastern port, Dara? And then the response was that, sir, most of our units have been immobilized. And then there was another announcement saying that the gunpowder from the rifles had disappeared. He said swords, pistols, axes, spears, and knives. He said all the weapons have disappeared. And then there's a big ass announcement saying finally there's all some weapons, and the Marines are realizing that they don't have any gunpowder at all. There's a big ass announcement saying that somebody or something has stolen them, but turns out to be the little dwarves because they gotten good at stealing things. And then there was another announcement saying that furthermore, that ships we anchored at the port seem to have been stitched together. Instead, we may not be able to set at all. And there's a picture of the Marine ships being stitched together. and somebody else says, "Don't lower yourself. We'll be crushed under the winds. Ships will be crushed under the ships if the winds blow." And some people are asking, how is it possible the metal is stitched together? And it turns out that Leo is the guy that's doing this. And somebody yells out, "Get something so we can cut the stitches open then." But also somebody else says, but we don't have knives. And then there's another announcement saying that, and on the other side, our troops have all collapsed and unable to move. And but still, it's starting to get a lot more pissed. He yells out, "What the hell are you lot doing, Dara?" It means look like that. And it means look like they have been stitched to the ground as well. They look uncomfortable. And so but still yells out that presidents from every country have gathered at the eastern port, and here we are offering them a free pass out of the country. Do something about it. And there's a yes sir command. And Princess Mancheri starts thinking, should we really be taking them at this time, Grandpa Mao? And another thought comes up, if we take out too many of them, the soldiers might not be able to move. And then Grandpa Mao says, that's okay, Princess, we have permission to do so for Master Kiros. And he said, just do as I say, dear Princess. And then she says, okay then, let's see. Well, there are still many who are injured. Somebody else says, just a little more. And there's another text bubble saying, okay then, just a little, okay. And somebody else says, apologies, sir. And there's an announcement saying that, and sir, we heard this about the locals here, but everything that's happening now, it is said to be a work of the fairies. And Bastille is getting pissed. He said, ridiculous, Dara. Enough with the fairy talk, Dara. And the other Marine says, I'm sorry, but we don't have enough soldiers, so we can't be donating. And the scene changes towards Luffy, and he's running towards the eastern port. And here's the entrance towards the eastern port. And there's Jeet, Bartholomew, Sai, Cavendish, and Haruden defending against Vice Admiral Bastille. No, Admiral Fujitora. And somebody else is wondering, I wonder if your barrier can take this. And Bartholomew says, my barrier is invincible. And the scene changes towards somebody's asking, want some food? And the other person says, no, not talk. So, Fujitora is about to face up against Bartholomew and most of the prisoners. And Sengoku is crunching on some cookies that he probably got from Garb. And there's a flashback. He says, a young boy with the Amber Lid syndrome. And he says, so there was a survivor from White Town. And there's an announcement saying that he seems to hate everything under the sun. And the person said, it's like I'm looking at a younger version of my brother. And it turns out it's Corazon that's saying this. He says, it's such a shame, really, but there isn't a cure for the Amber Lid syndrome. No, that's what Sengoku was saying that. He said, don't focus too much on the kid or you'll blow your cover. And Corazon says, yeah, I know, but the whole reason I'm here is to stop my brother anyway. And Corazon says, Doflamingo is a very cruel man. He must not reach Dressrosa. And the flashback ends at and we go back towards the nearby the eastern port. And Sengoku says a soldier died a while back, and this big ass gorilla is wheezing and panting. And it turns out Sengoku is talking towards Allah. And Sengoku is now talking about Corazon dying. He said he was a special one to me. I met him when he was just a boy and began to think of him as my own son. And Sengoku asked, don't you have family? And he said he believed in justice even more than the average man, was a very trustworthy subordinate. But all in his life, he only lied to me once. Somebody says, this is Minion Island. And the scene changes back towards Minion Island and in a flashback. This is another announcement saying that we found one of the members on the Don Queen's 2 family monster dead. He said, codename Corazon, we're sending you a message now. And Sengoku starts crying, and this gets a little bit emotional because we show his reaction after Corazon has been dead for like 31 chapters. And he was asking why he was there. And Sengoku says he betrayed me, but I'm sure he had a reason to. He said 4 things were lost that day: the barrels, pirates, the life of my subordinate, the Opie fruit, and he said, and the boy with the Amber Lid syndrome that was with the Don Quixote family at the time. And Law says, yeah, that was me. And then Sengoku says, huh, so it's true then. The reason why Rosenton took off for half a year was because of you. And Law says, yeah, he took me to every hospital he could find. So now, Sengoku is being cleared up on why Corazon was leaving half a year. You know, he wanted to take care of Law. And Sengoku says, so he finally made a move on the Opie fruit and gave his life away in exchange for yours. And Sengoku asks, I want to know why he really died. And then Law says, alright, fine, yeah, we were supposed to escape together. He gave me life and a heart. He's my benefactor. And Law yells out, that's why I made my life's goal to take down Doflamingo in his stead. And Law says, I don't know if this is the life of D that Corazon was talking about. And Sengoku says, D? And Law finally makes it clear. I'm just like Straw Hat. I have a hidden name as well. And Law asks him, you know something about this whole D, don't you? And Son Goku says, "Who knows?" But he knows that he pretty sure that Rose and Tony knew nothing about it. He says, "That's it then. He didn't save you because of what you thought. So don't go writing off as an act of love or something." And then Sengoku starts thinking to himself, "He's one, too, huh? The D's always seem to have strange encounters with fates." And there's a flashback of Corazon saying, "Hey Law, love you, man." And then Sengoku says, "If I was still an active officer, I would have hauled your ass to prison and then talk." And he also said, "You're the man that could talk to me about Rose and Tony. Well, the pirate you at least. And then Sengoku says, "If you're so adamant on saying that all you've done is for him, then." Sengoku says, "Let us both not forget him. That will be the best." And Sengoku says as a lasting message, "Go live your life. You're free now." He would have told you this. That Corazon would. Now some things seem to be falling on the Gorilla, Sengoku, and Law. And it's probably Fujitora doing this. And Sengoku saying, no, the Gorilla saying, who? And Sengoku saying this. And somebody yells out, the rubber is floating. Yes, this is Fujitora's act, his gravity powers. And Bartholomew is really shocked. He's saying, "Shit!" He yells out, "This is cheating!" And Adio asks, "Did that guy? He's using those as weapons?" And Chinchou says, "Hiya ho ho." Now this is some wide range. Oh crap! Now it shows that all the rubber from around the country has gathered in the skies above the eastern port. And it turns out, obviously, like I said, this is the Navy Admiral Fujitora's work. And Fujitora says, "Oh no, this was getting away anyway. Just thought I'd put some practical use to it. The remains of a battle left behind by the detestable pirates." And Shui asks, "Weisheimer Bastille?" And somebody yells out, "Bastille?" And Bastille says, yes, Shu's right here. And Shu asks, "Do you still need reinforcements?" And Bastille yells out, "All units in the Navy, reinforcements are no longer required in the East." And somebody yells out, what is that? Could it be the gods?" And somebody yells out, "Maybe it's a new kind of island." And the Marines yell out, "All units move away from the eastern port. Proceed to higher ground and stay out of the danger zone." Yeah, since Fujitora is really blind, he really can't see what's going on. So he's gonna chuck all the rubble from around the country, just chuck them at Luffy and everybody else. And all the Marines are hauling out. He says, "Don't get in Ishu-san's way." And Riku asks, "Does he really intend to take out all the pirates in one go?" And Valor yells out, "No one will be able to survive this." And Tick yells out, "Straw Hat!" And Kiryu yells out, "Our escape plan is going to waste." And Rebecca yells out, "Lucy!" And the dwarves yell out, "Eh?" And Leo is yelling out, "This isn't a time to be surprised. We have to help the Usolanders." And Law is running. He says, "Hey, it'll be the same no matter where you go. So get the ships ready." And Cavendish was yelling, "We were waiting for you. Where were you, traveler girl?" And somebody yells out, "Everyone hurry to your ships," which was Sai. And Usopp yells out, "They're coming!" And Bartholomew says, "Oh, Luffy-senpai," and he sees them. He says, "Hurry, Ribbit, just jump on board the ship, Ribbit." He says, "Just be careful, Fujitora, fly past them." And Luffy is still running. And everybody else is running as well. somebody else is saying, everyone get on board quickly. Straw Hat and Law have arrived. And somebody else says, we're all here. Now run. And Luffy says, fly it past. As if he doesn't know how to do that. He yells out, hey, gambling man. Remember me? And Fujitora says, you're here, Straw Hat. And Luffy says, I'm going to sock you in the face. And there's a question mark against him. And he launches an elephant gun against Fujitora. He launches a big ass gum elephant gun against Fujitora. And I think Fujitora blocked it with a sword. Like, he doesn't look that injured. And Sai and Bartholomew are really, really surprised. And there's a backward shot of Luffy punching Fujitora. And Luffy makes an emotional statement. He says, I can't defeat you like I always do because you're an admiral. But he asks himself, why do I have to keep running? I already done so 2 years ago, and I'm sick of it. And Bartholomew and Sai are getting shocked. He says, so I don't care if you're an admiral of the Navy or even one of the 4 emperors. I will beat you up. I will beat all of you up if I have to, or I'll never be king of the pirates. And Fujitora is silent. Yeah, this time he really can't run away, because if he does, like, is that how the king of the pirates would be? And to add insult to injury, Fujitora is not like Garp when he cornered Roger a couple of times. He's like a new admiral into the scene. So Luffy, this time he will really fight against Fujitora. So that's the end of it.